Hello everybody, welcome to What to Watch with Your Popcorn. I am Rob.
And I am Dave.
And today we're going to be reviewing U-Turns, directed by Oliver Stone and starring Sean Penn, Billy Bob Thornton, Nick Nolte, and Jennifer Lopez. And the plot of this movie is Sean Penn is running from the people he owes money to, and he ends up in a small town in Arizona, which he calls the small town from hell, and he's constantly trying to find ways to get out of it and trying to come up with the money to pay off the people he owes. And he gets two offers. One is from Nick Nolte's character to kill his wife, played by Jennifer Lopez, and the other is to run away with Jennifer Lopez and just completely disappear and forget about all their problems. So this film is a cult film. I don't think it did well at the box office. It's not one of Oliver Stone's better knowns, and people are split on it whether this movie's really good and underrated, and people think that it's his worst film. So Dave, I'm curious, what did you think about this movie?
A lot I liked and a lot I didn't like. Billy Bob Thornton, for instance, he basically played the same creepy, jaded person he always plays.
Well, I thought his character was funny at first. I mean, I thought Sean Penn, the scene where he and Sean Penn meet for the first time, I thought that was a very funny scene in the beginning. Well, actually, this was one of the things I liked about it. Actually, I did not like this movie at all. The problem I had with it was it just wasn't very interesting, and I mean, what really annoyed me were those random shots that were thrown in. Like, take for example the scene in the beginning where Sean Penn is he pulls up to the town sign, and then there's this random shot where the sign is clear in the center and there's fog around it and all that stuff. I thought that was very distracting, and I felt like I was constantly coming out of the story.
Yeah, I mean it took a while for the plot of the movie to get rolling. It took a long time because, I mean, in the beginning he's just in town and he's trying to figure out where he is and who everybody is and who to talk to, who not to talk to.
Well, the film's doing that, I guess, so that we get familiar enough with, so that when the story starts, we know what's going on, we know who everybody is. And honestly, I mean, there were some good moments I liked about it. There was some good photography of the town, and of the outside, but the film had some fine performances too. Like I mentioned, there was Daryl, and there's another funny scene where Sean Penn is trying to talk to all these people on the payphone. That was good, but honestly, I didn't have any interest in Penn's character or the problems, and honestly, I could care less which choice he went with, whether to work with Nick Nolte or whether to run away with Jennifer Lopez. And honestly, I felt the supporting characters were better. Whenever John Voight, who plays a blind Vietnam veteran, comes on, at first I liked the mechanic played by Bill Bob Thornton, but over time I just got sick of him and I didn't like him as much as or when Walking Phoenix and Claire Danes come on, I always got excited because I thought they were more interesting, they were more colorful, and I really liked watching them. I thought they were very, very funny, and unfortunately their moments are like far and few between the movie.
I didn't care for Joaquin Phoenix. For me, I seen him as like acting like a little kid, basically. I mean,
well, that's what he kind of is. He's an adult that acts like a kid, and there's a lot of people in the world that are like that. I agree with you that the film is kind of slow in the middle, you know. And I mean, and here's the interesting thing: Penn keeps saying throughout the movie that he wants to get out of town, and honestly, I felt the same way. I wanted to get out of this movie because I really didn't like this movie all that much. Took out the opening credits and told me that Oliver Stone directed it, I would be a little bit skeptical. But on the other hand, one thing this film does have in common with Stone's other films is that whether it's JFK or Platoon or W, there's always open for discussion, especially when people are divided on what the film presents. Like, when I was at college, I had a professor that worked for ABC News, and if you told him that JFK was accurate, he would say, no, it's not. It would make a nice conversation. That's what this film is. We can discuss whether this film is even worth looking at or not.
Right.
It sounded like you liked the film a little bit more than I did.
I like some of it, but not all of it. Say, unless you're like a big fan of Jennifer Lopez or Sean Penn, I'd say probably not.
Yeah, I can't really recommend this movie either, even no matter who's in it, whether Jennifer Lopez is in it or whether it's Sean Penn.
It took too long to get going. And
I said, they have to set the story up and you have to get the feel of the town. So, I mean, I can understand where you're coming from, that it feels like it's dragged out, but on the other hand, I felt like we needed to get to know as much
Yeah,
of the time
but I
because
mean,
they're constantly coming back into the picture.
But it took way too long to get going. I mean, you really didn't figure things out till like near the very end.
Well, they're trying to keep the viewers guessing a little bit with what's going on, whether he's going to get screwed over by other characters, or whether he's going to be able to get out of the town, or whether who he's going to end up taking an offer from, and whether the people that he owes money to, whether they're going to come back and find him and get him. You have there's all this going on, and you have to get to know a little bit about each element.
It was really boring. So
okay. All right, so it looks like we get a mixed reaction from U-Turn. I think Dave liked it more than I did, but if you've seen the movie U-Turn, go ahead and leave your feedback about whether you've liked it, whether you hated it, you thought it was okay. We do read everything that you give. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you later.